You are listening to Let's Go, the weekly anime podcast about weekly anime from Dynamite in the Brain and Secret of the Silent Madness. So come along and hang with the Let's Go gang. It's Dwayne.
Hello.
It's Niall.
Ari.
And it's me, Brian. And on this episode, we are covering anime that aired Feb 3rd to Feb 9th, 2024.
9.
Starting with Mashal, Magic and Muscles, the Divine Visionary Candidate, Exam Arc, Episode 17. Finn Ames and the Friend.
Which friend?
His best friend.
All our friend.
Hmm.
Mr. Marsh.
Yes.
Is he worthy of being a friend, though? Like, and it fucking is. And it's like, he gets the episode title because, like, one Marsh comes in and he gives the fucking the villain of the piece a bollock, in a very hilarious and humiliating way. Finn gets a title because, he fucking gutted it out. He took multiple stab wounds and still didn't let go of that crystal. He's got a Harvard champion.
It's about, like, how far you'd kind of go, that kind of thing. Because I guess, villain of the week kind of thing. His magic is I stab you, I stab me and you get stabbed. Or, any damage he takes, you take instead, basically.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's essentially why he's such a git in the first place, because he has no understanding of pain.
And therefore no understanding of human empathy, that kind of thing. Is like, I don't understand other people's pain. I guess I'm just the strongest. Also, as the thing explains, is like there's these 13 fucking cool ones that ones choose the owner, and I got chosen for this one that has like a heart built into it, like it's something from Doro. So that means I'm really fucking cool, and I'm better. I already automatically feel better than everyone else because I got one of the special ones, and also I can't feel empathy because I can't feel pain because my pain goes to someone else.
Yeah, I kind of just seeing them now, like in like an episode of a TV series. It's like it's like special ones. They have like a thing if you do a lot like fucking stand now, because they're moving around and they got weird fucking tricks to them like this, like that. Yeah, like having the magic be like anything you hit me with, it goes back, and that's fucking Steely Dan sure on a JoJo. So
but unlike stands, it's not like, how do I use my power to beat your power? It's just I'm a muscle through because it's Mashal.
Well, what is Mash but the Star Platinum just embodied, just infused into him?
I feel like Star Platinum it wouldn't be nearly as shy, but that's just me.
So the second half is the fight, which involves Mashal defeating him by taking his wand, stretching it out into a tennis racket, and smashing the Phantom Nurse repeatedly in the face.
Because basically he's trying to say, let's say if I keep doing repeated punches and repeatedly take the damage, because it's damage negation. But what's the limit on it? Like how much damage can I input and take myself before I actually get through to hit you in the fucking face? A bunch apparently, but again they do the same joke and somehow it's funny every fucking time, like repeated jokes in this. The audience all saying it's like he's doing repeated shots of a tennis on the thing's face, and it was just like, but all of them thinking it at exactly the same time.
Yes,
the faces keep getting smaller.
Yeah, great visual.
Yeah, the audio is great as well of having the multiple voices all saying everything is as you say, it's a repeated gag, but they don't repeat it too often that it stops being funny.
Exactly.
We also get a brief check-in on Margaret, who's thinking that Alta must have put Carpaccio up to this as well.
Thank you, Maman, Papan, for letting me be born into this world.
Such freaks in it. Fight. But even like Mash's thing, where your man's like, Finn's just pathetic. Look at him getting stabbed by me because I'm stabbing myself. And Mash is like, Finn may be pathetic and crap at magic and really fucking sad, and he mightn't be good at anything, but he fucking hung on to that fucking crystal. So let's see if you can take a hit like the way he can take a fucking hit. Like basically, that's his entire modus operandi for this whole fucking thing, which is, and your man's like, oh fuck, this is what pain feels like. That's what he felt like when I stabbed him like several times. Fucking hell, I'm never doing this again.
You really feel it when he just like brings that racket down, like I edge downwards, I find right in it, and you forget it's also a cast iron fucking racket as well. So it's just
Yeah.
You
It's like
believe it.
that's going to be a joke later, but it seems like Mash fucking kills him in that moment because he looks like he brains him with an iron fucking tennis racket. But yeah.
Well, apparently there were 5 when letting that fucking teenage boy get stabbed to death. Like, right?
Yeah,
A dagger
school,
plunged into his heart.
a stadium full of children watching a child be stabbed repeatedly, and it's just like, yeah, this is a fucked up world. Maybe magic's bad, actually.
Must have some chart on the side that says, fucking, okay, we have our necromancy barrier. How bad did he get messed up before we had to bring him back from the dead? Okay, that's too much. Bring him in. Call it off. Send in a referee. No, break it up.
Dear.
There's one really good shot in this episode, like much better than you'd normally see in MASH, with the syringes dropping from above.
Oh, and he's
towards
dodging
Mash.
and rallying at the same time. Yeah, really
Yeah.
nice.
No, they were in gear now with this one. This even in the non-actiony bits, it was just the kind of just nicely framed. So it's like someone was like, I gotta fucking, this is my favorite chapters, and just let me do this one, and it's like they kind of went all for it. That's cool.
Then we've got High Card, episode 17. Look at me.
What's Leo doing? What in Wonder hiatus?
Well, he slowly gets ill over 20 minutes, and then VJ comes to save him.
It's like your classic Victorian poisoning slowly to death story.
But it's also very Victorian in that it's like it's a schoolboy gone to an all boys school in this day and age. Yeah, an all boys school in this day and age, and Papa never gave him the love that he craved, and it's just like, yeah, this feels very old fashioned.
Very gothic, yes.
Yeah.
And yeah, Leo's being suspicious of the wrong person at the school.
I understand, because that kid was wearing gloves the whole fucking time I was watching. It was cold out. It's set in like December or whatever, so it's just like that makes sense. But is he hiding a card playing glove? That's the thing.
No, just wanted to be friends. He's just as awkward as Leo, and that's why you came across as suspicious.
Yeah.
It was actually the school doctor.
This is what the pressures I'm under, man. Upon none of these other boys know I'm the secret head of a paramilitary government organization, and I got exams.
And his father doesn't love him. Had one conversation with him his entire youth, by the sound of it. And it was about the fucking cards, because of course it was about the fucking cards. Well. If our villain didn't, if he could have just held off, right, and just went, it's like, actually, here's how my power works as you're about to die, and you still have time to stop me. He could have just went, all right, I'm going home for the night, grand. But he had to rub it in. He doesn't have one of the flashy cards. It's a very good card, but it isn't flashy at all. So you do have to.
And it's like a fucking it's like called 13 steps, and it's just like it's 7. It's like, well, wouldn't that be like a king then? Like all the number is all thrown off on this now.
I think it was the 13 like things were arranged in a way that they made like 7 spaces or something. I can't remember. It was something about the pattern, and I was like, okay, that kind of works, but that's gonna look really confusing on those deck of cards. Whenever they fucking release them, when are they released? This is a deck of cards.
I wonder, is this the most that VJ is going to get characterized?
I know, right? He's got to get his own like focus episode.
Yeah, he's essentially young Bernard. Is his role in the story is
seems to be
hyper competent. Yeah.
Yes.
It seems like like he knows Leo from when he was like a young lad, so it's like he's like the Pinnacle family butler, I suppose, or something.
Yeah, like that's what Leo says is like, I knew another, because his friend is getting bullied for being
a commoner, a poor.
Yeah, recommended to school rather than getting there by your dad's rich. So like he's like, I knew another guy who fucking got recommended, and he's really cool and knows a lot about plants because that's his power. But that's unrelated. Yeah.
And then probably the important stuff happens after the credits. Where Tilt's girlfriend drugs him so he can't sacrifice his life for the Klondikes.
It was this whole like hard-boiled gangster flick happening, this like off panel all the time, where it's just like come on, baby, just We gotta get out of here. I love you, Pussy. It's alright. It's just one less score. We'll blow this town. It'll be fine. But he's gonna kill you, baby. But I gotta go through with this. I know. I love you. That's why I gotta do this. It's just like it's very like
That's why I drugged
getting
your
a
teeth.
lot across in just like a minute and a half or whatever it was.
The way she kind of slumps as well, I was wondering, did she drug her own drink as well? Is that her plan? If they're both fucking unconscious, then neither of them can be involved.
That's the pressure you should be able to like relax. You gotta keep up this facade for weeks now.
Well, no, she's got psychic nosebleed. Is what appears to be happening with her.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was a similar kind of drugging. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, not the best episode. After a couple of exciting ones.
It's kind of like we got to do character focus. We've never told you about this kid. Like, let's see what he's doing, and it's good for that. But it feels like I should have been season 1, man. But it's because it's him alone, like out of Highgarden, out of his dad. So
yes,
I think that's why they did it here.
And it puts him back to square one anyway. Where it's just like,
Yeah.
well, I came into this alone. I'll come into it alone. I can only associate with the weirdos in my agency, in this world I'm trapped in.
We got Buchigiri, episode 4. Stop the war. Sometimes you got to eat Goya Champuru. The thing we forgot to mention from last week, Dwayne, is
I
establishing
assume we forgot to mention so many goddamn things, but yeah.
that the your gingerhead boys' brothers in prison, because that's important.
Yeah, there was like, oh, he's in juvie. When's he coming back? And he keeps counting down on the calendar, soon. And I'm like, I'm thinking about that, and I was like, all right, what the fuck did he do to actually get sent out of this fucking school for one fucking thing? And the half of my thinking was like, did the younger brother actually end up doing it? Because I'm getting so many fucking bad vibes from him. He does another creepy thing.
Yeah, no, I think Arjun did something. That's why he's guilty and doesn't want to. I think he's somehow responsible for the older brother being.
See, I was wondering, did the older brother take the fall for whatever fucked up thing he did? Is what I was thinking. Yeah.
He is like, he's just gonna go after what he wants. He's fucking like, he's very impulsive. Just fucking puts his fucking foot in it all the goddamn time. So
the other thing was his brother was the whatever 13th or 27th or whatever leader of the gang. So this old dude wasn't the leader back then. He was just doing another repeat year of their gang, but he still wasn't in charge. And I was like, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so Senya and Mahoro in this episode form a bond over their brother complexes.
Yeah, he doesn't manage to win her over by kind of stopping her in the stairwell. He doesn't manage to get her by grabbing her fucking arm again. God damn it, dude, stop that. That's creepy. And clamping his hand over her mouth. I was like, stop. But he's like, I also love my brother. And she's like, you love your brother? Oh, well, now we've connected as people. And the fact that you couldn't do that rather than physically force someone to stand there and listen to you, I was just like, oh, come on, dude, stop being a weirdo.
Yeah, well, maybe like he didn't. Maybe he needed like Arjun around and try and show him how to be with the ladies. Not that he would have known any better himself, but he seems to have a better grasp of it. Working in a restaurant and that.
But
the like the whole like conspiracy of things. The got his fucking name now, but he's the head of like the other school. Who've been with the whole BDSM angle. And your fella who's like one of Madakara's like little buds, he's like, getting this thing. He was fucking basically jumped by this dude, and it was his armband and fucking or jacket that was left inside there.
When they're initially doing the thing, and he's like, it's like, one of our gang wouldn't have like beat him up in the bathroom. That's not cool. And he's like, hey dude, where's your jacket? It's like, I don't know, a crow took it, I think was his thing. And his friend is like shouting at crows then because he's a moron. But I was like, did he fucking actually beat him up in the back? It's like, no, he got it stolen because he's an idiot. And I was like, okay, they're just stupid. Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah.
No,
it's
no
just
major
like,
conspiracy. Just.
It's because I didn't want to be fucking embarrassed in front of the lads. Was the fucking like thing? Why didn't you fucking tell me this sooner? This is obviously like it's very pertinent to what's going on right now. Who's trying to stir a shit between us, but fucking the third party. So.
Yeah.
Like I understand. My bro, I love you. Still very nice, like when it comes down to it. When it comes to his bros, it needs to like get some more, experience with how to treat women right.
and how not to be a forceful dick in some way. And like half of the thing I'm thinking is just like because his former friend no longer is like, I don't remember all the memories that you're mentioning to me, and has a flashback of those same memories. And I was like, what did he do that makes you not want to associate with this guy anymore? Why did your brother go to juvie? What's going on? There's something very much so being left unsaid. So yeah.
Yes, but Mahoru convinces Arajin. And so Arajin decides, yeah, now I'm going to fight. We're going to train. We're going to bond. And then at the end of the episode, runs into Akutaro, the head of the God, what are they called? The 100 NG, the NG boys. That's
NG. It was like 2 letters. I couldn't think of IT crowd. No,
No,
I couldn't think.
I assume like the no good boys or something. And yeah, gives him the old punch, this time in the face rather than the abs. But it has no effect because yes, we were correct last episode. He was talking to his own genie.
Mm-hmm.
And Senya's like, you.
I remember that punch. I think it gets like, unlike the other guys, he gets punched in the arm and the face. They actually manages to punch him twice with that killer right. But
yeah, he's getting better. He's watching boxing videos on YouTube.
Sometimes you hit a guy twice, and that does
Didn't
it.
never see that one coming. Hit him again.
The old 1-2, and just the 1 and then the 2. Yeah. So I guess we're gonna. I thought they were gonna like lead that like way long, but I guess they're not, which is good.
Well, I was
It's
about ready
nice.
for it. I felt like it's been kind of drawn out a bit long
Yeah.
for and saying like, okay, we get it now. Like, he's like, we can say he's dodging him. He's fucking like very like, I just want to hear to chase girls and hang out with boys kind of way. But now it's just like, okay, I'm getting a bit impatient now. What is actually going on between you or something like?
Yeah. And also his solution to this thing was just like, I'm just going to let the war happen initially, because he's just like, all right. And he runs the 2 scenarios in his head. Either he wins, he's like, all right, now you're going to take over from me. Or he loses, like, take over from me as I die. And he's just like, and either way, I get your sister. So it works out for me, is basically his thing.
Ichiya is apparently the name of the blue genie.
Okay.
I like his I guess we'll try to keep it sort of semi-secret now of who he kind of is. But like he kind of way it kind of pops out, like, again, very JoJo West. He's this kind of like Dio in shadow. But if he were a stand as well.
Yes.
I really like JoJo, can you tell?
Particularly when our heroic genie is quite often just a face on a butt.
He's chibi, but you gotta make sure he has a butt. It's like, he doesn't have a butt in his usual form. It's like, yeah, but he's not wearing pants in his chibi form, so gotta have a butt.
Also, the teacher's still dithering outside the Nyan, whatever. It's
definitely cat cafe,
but
how pervy is it as a cat cafe? That's the question.
Is cat or cat boy? What's it gonna be?
I think that's the general. Most of the plot points covered.
Yeah.
Like I say, yeah.
We're kind of going back over things, it feels, in some places. I suppose
It's
seeing
third of the way
the
through.
different perspective in it.
Yeah, so it's like, here's your reveal of the next part of the plot, all set up.
Yeah, like you said, Niall, it's about the right time to do it rather than stringing it out too long.
Yeah, and I like that it's the other genies with Akutaro, not with Matakara, like you might have expected.
And presumably they can switch, like, because that is a thing with genies. Who has the lamp currently, that kind of thing.
Who's the biggest honky around here?
Yeah.
Yep. And then we've got Sengoku Yoku, episode 5, Higan. Of which I tried jumping back in, and I was like, clearly there's details I'm missing.
You remember some characters, but you're not gonna know who this like wounded samurai in the cave is.
Yes.
You're not gonna know who this chick with the big ponytails is. Not gonna know who all these like fucking wandering monks who can turn into monsters are. It's all over.
I've been remiss describing it by not remembering anyone's fucking name. So that's not helping.
I was like, who's this talking tree trunk who's
That's a new guy. I've
lying
never
in
seen that
bed.
guy before. Great.
He's
love
just
it.
he's
Great
just some
character.
dude. He's just like, you know, because they're traveling around, but they got a lot of friends in a lot of places.
Random
so.
yokai come up to him and is like, "Hey, there's a problem. There's a monster or
Oh,
a
he
guy
beat me up.
or a thing."
You go beat him up for me. Yeah, okay, we're on the case, sir.
Hmm.
Yeah, the samurai dude, he was like an assassin who was sent to try and take them out previously, but they defeated him. It's just like, you know, because he was under duress as well, but saying if you don't do it, well, you know what will happen to your sister. He's like, oh my god, okay, I'll do it. I'll take on the job. He gets defeated, and it's just like, well, you lost. Now you know what's going to happen to your sister. We have to send her out as a necessary because she's tougher than you are. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's basically the thing of and he calls himself like I'm a darkness eater. I forgot to mention that before as well because he mentions like I kill the monsters and eat them, and it's just like oh, so he's super badass. And you see him later on eating the thing. He's like, oh fuck, this tastes disgusting, and they're like, dude, that's horrible. And he's like, well, the monsters eat humans, so what's the fucking problem? Hey, man's gotta eat. You know, it's not like a big deal. It's just like he's surviving in the wilderness like a lunatic. But he's barely an assassin. He kind of is like, I don't really want to kill you, kid. You seem all right. And he's constantly advising him. And it's like when your man, obviously in this episode, shows up, it's like, hey, will you teach me how to wield the sword? And he's like, if you feed me, yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
'Cause
maybe.
that's his whole thing. Is like, let him get fed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He lays all that out for him anyway. It's just like, and then the tree man comes in. Someone beat me up. You gotta go beat him up for me. And they go out there, and it's just, yeah, it was like Egan, the assassin who's been sent after you. But to get a vibe off of her, it's just like, it's like she's like one of these like enhanced monks who can like turn half into like half to a spirit themselves. But then like, you know, Shaka guy comes out, it's just like, whoa, let me handle this one. It's like, hey buddy, it's me, how's it going? It's like,
I was
put
wondering
on a
what they
whole
were
other
doing with
voice
the.
entirely.
I was wondering what they're doing with the duality thing in the intro, so I was glad that kind of came up. It's just like, oh, it's me. I've fused with this human, but we're totally both available. Like she's cool, I'm cool, we're all cool. Like you're my old buddy, and it's like, no, I subsumed his
Ooh.
consciousness and just have all these powers now. And it's like, oh, you killed my buddy, right? Now it's me and you fighting, basically.
Yeah,
Which is
because
yeah.
this is like, you know, they're kind of saying like, oh, these like spiritual, these like enhanced people that they're making, there seem to be like, you know, there's different kind of levels of the spiritual like formation. Like, you know, we have the one that we do with Jinka and Tama where he borrows it for a minute and goes and does his thing, and the other ones at this world seems to be like combined all together. And then this happens where they become this like composite being, like with the sister Hegan here, and or become like, you know, this kind of dual thing, because. It's like because like, you know, they kind of have the same participant at the end of their name Gan, and they were saying like, oh yes, like, you know, just kind of shifted between them, and just kind of her name Shaku Gan, and then this one is that, but they've kind of subsumed into one.
Yeah, she says I've taken the consciousness, and they're obviously Jenka thinks that's pretty fucked up that they like trapped the spirit of the monster spirit in the human body, so it's not like a sharing thing, which is like no, I'm going to become a monster my own accord. I don't want to steal another monster thing. That's fucked up. So yeah,
they have a cool fight anyway. She's like. They're both kind of stone based him, but she's kind of like, you know, it seems to be like an all very straight and angular. Like she's like kind of sprouting out like fucking like concrete blocks, like it's like for arms.
it's I would call it like her initial thing. She looks like a concrete block hand centaur, because like
Hand
the top
spider.
part is
Yeah.
like is her as a lady, but the bottom part is like a rock hand. And I was just like, that's strange. Then obviously she
was impressed. The Shaka guy, oh, you shoot fun spirit laser at me. I can do that too. And one goes out of each finger. This is zaps them. Anyways, fuck that noise. Shinsuke is behind the house back there, and the woodman says, "Oh, you gotta go tell him there's a fucking there's some bad shit coming. The fucking dragon is on the way." It's like, see, he runs up.
That dude outside, that was a dragon. You need to tell them to get the fuck out of there because there's a fucking dragon.
A very imposing looking monk and his little apprentice with the scary, spooky eyes. He runs up and says, "It's a fucking dragon on the way." And it's just like, oh shit. And Jinka, usually fucking very cocky, very arrogant. He's just, he's fucking awash. He gets this cold sweat right there. It's like, yeah, we gotta finish up and get the fuck out of here. Too late. It's already there. And it's just like, yo, I'm here for your sister. I'm here for Hegan. She's like been wanted for like, she's for murder in the capital. Well, saying, what's your evidence? Doesn't matter. I don't need evidence. I'm just doing what I'm told.
Yeah, so they escape with like who used the smoke screen? I can't remember now.
He funded this dude one half person did fun a dragon man and then fun punches her straight in the chest and just shatters her entire lower body.
They escape with most of themselves, but like very little of her. It's just like she's a head with some of the rock tentacles coming out. It's just like
Yeah.
that's
The
not good.
The dragon's got an apprentice, this kid called Senya.
With the weird eyes, yeah.
Who kind of grow kind of thorny branches.
Yes.
But they're like no little talisman doubles that made a clean getaway. It's just like, I see you have much to learn, young apprentice. It's like, sorry, sir, I'll get them next time. Very good.
Yeah, I think Senya's the main character in part 2 from what the website has.
Okay.
Interesting. Then we get to a very tearful farewell because, like, she's hit bad, man. Just kind of, she's gone away. I just got to say goodbyes to her. I just did it for you, but I did it for the family. Everyone's looking down on us, and you didn't need to do that. Just laying it all out right there like that. It's kind of weird. This kind of composite being, like, it was like the thing is put together, but it still like had this will of the sister to like bring some kind of glory in the family name.
It was more his sister than it was the monster in the combination. Yeah.
That's a kind of want to take it on ourselves because of there's no sense in both of us being in this life. If you weren't in it, you could have been like like a famous swordsman with your skill, but you're stuck hunting monsters because that's what your family is meant to be. They've done for all these generations.
And his thing of just like, I never wanted to be famous, and I just want to survive, basically, and that's why I'll eat anything that I kill.
Nice. Are you enticed to try and keep up with it more, Brian, or
was it
if
too
I've
weird?
If I got the time, I may check it in again next week. Then we've got Metallic Rouge, episode 5, Carnival Dances with Lost Memories. Now, I've watched all these episodes, and this one still lost me in places. So essentially, Rouge has been captured by the circus, who are prodding at her memories for much of the episode.
And the problem is, like, while these are clearly memories, they're also dreamlike in their quality, because sometimes it's a scene happening in Rouge is there in the background watching it happen. Sometimes she's in the scene. Sometimes there's another guy who's like definitely not supposed to be. They're going like, and how did that make you feel, huh? It's just like,
yeah, I kind of wonder, like, how much of their things are they're trying to kind of manipulate it to try and achieve a desired outcome, or how much they're just kind of, we're just looking over here and somebody else perhaps could have like fucked around with her memories to make another person and be playing the piano. Because we see, like, it glitches out. There's like the old scientist who created her. But no, that was her older brother. Who she's always had an older brother playing the piano there. It's kind of hard to kind of tell because I feel like these dudes, they're pretty weird. They don't seem to have any kind of like geopolitical goal in mind or something like that. Some of these agencies had. They don't seem like some kind of actual authority. They seem like a bunch of weirdos who go from planet to planet with their circus, like trying to achieve some kind of next state of evolution for robots, I suppose.
Yeah, and the other problem with these memory dream manipulations is it seems pretty clear-ish that they're trying to manipulate Rouge to see it from a certain point of view, and by us, the audience watching her memory, is like, she's also been manipulated by her brother / dad / whoever the fuck made her to be like, this is the thing you want to do, that kind of thing. So it's not only the guy who's like, I'm the puppet master, but I'm cutting your strings. It's like you're trying to lead her down a certain way, so you're definitely like trying to control her in one way, and the people who met her initially also trying to control her in a certain way. So
yeah,
and we learned from Naomi and Eden while they're breaking in. Eden being the archaeologist, looter, and of course
he finally introduces himself at the end. Yeah.
Of course, as it turns out, by the end of the episode, also one of the Immortal Nine.
I'm not sure if he is now because you see like a shot in the middle of this where there's all of them kind of in it, and I didn't see him in the lineup.
Yeah, so it might be something else. And indeed, the carnival might be something else because they point out that there's something to do with the usurpers, who are also known
Yeah.
as Naomi points out, as the Junoids.
Mm.
Which is presumably one
If
of
you want to
the
use the
alien
Latin,
races
yeah.
that invaded.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so which Eden is impressed that she knows that, and they spend a lot of the episode sort of flirting, fighting, and then
Well, he's more flirting, and she's more like, "You're fucking suspicious as shit." I'm
Yes.
very suspicious, so I'd know.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then he has to save her life, which is about to fall off a space blimp.
Yeah. I liked a lot of the memory stuff, but it is kind of like we're seeing only part of the picture here, and like I said, she's being manipulated from two different points because her youth seems to be, "You're a robot, you're great." It's like, oh, father made these great robots that all what the hell are the robot race called in this again? I've forgotten them.
Neens.
All the Neens are the children of the Immortal Nine. These are the base robots that they're all based off of, is what they claim. But they killed Dad in a fucking spaceship accident. No proof of that whatsoever. It's just on the news. It's like, that was the other Immortal Nine. You need to go get them, Rouge. And it's like, do I? It's like, okay, fair enough. Says her brother. Which is like, is that what really happened? We don't fucking. It seems unlikely. And also the circus seems very interested in keeping that little core, for themselves, kind of thing.
Yeah.
They've also brought the Doctor up into their circus blimp.
Yeah, I know if they're getting back is to still pluck that little marble off his bath, his tub, and then they're leaving. But it's like it doesn't seem like it's like just the Immortal Nine who are these ones like can just subvert this kind of code. There seems to be kind of like lots of these like ones around. So we got these kind of fucking creeps right here. So like everything you've heard about them, they've been built up to be the villains of this piece. And that's what fun Rouge's grand mission is. Remember, these are the ones that blew up Dad's space plane. They're the bad guys. The bad guys. Yes, they're all bad guys. And he reacted when they're actually very conflicted people. Like, I actually liked Sarah. She haunts me in my fucking memories now, saying, "You killed me, Rouge."
Yeah, and just kind of going. We've only seen her kill the last two of the Immortal Nine, not the prior two. But it's just like that lounge singer seemed alright. It's just like, yeah, I just want to sing. I don't like that song that your brother played, because I obviously have bad associations, is what you imply. So she sings rather than goes with classical music. And the Doctor is like, I don't know, he seemed kind of like a dick, but Rouge is like, he seemed to feel bad that he couldn't help everyone, but he was selling drugs to the prison guards, so hard to fucking tell.
Yeah. We also see that the puppeteer looks like he's going to make a copy of Rouge.
Yeah.
Because he's holding up like an image of calling it Rouge, but it's not Rouge because this one's got blue hair and a different haircut.
And there's multiple different shots, like I say, Rouge watching Rouge in her own memories, and there's multiple things of her being there twice, essentially, in a scene. So is there a different version of her, or was there a different version of her, or whatever? Yeah.
Some of it felt like stuff I'd seen before because he's like talking like an Eve circuit or whatever it is they're trying to get out of her. I was like, oh, okay, it's going to be some sort of weird terraforming story coming out of this. But the other stuff really well, particularly when the puppeteer's invading the dream and he keeps on tapping on the window.
Yeah.
He's watching her like a you'd watch an animal in the zoo.
He's tapping
on
like the side of her fucking tub of her
cylinder.
Yeah, that bit worked really well for me. But I'm taking the opinion that I'm not going to try and analyze this. I'm going to let the show explain it.
My analysis is just fucking nonsense, so don't fucking worry about it. It's basically just like, I think this is happening, but who fucking knows, honestly. It's a dream. I had this weird dream.
I like how to try and like poke around her for a specific piece of information that even she's not even aware of. She just had to fun deal with. Oh yeah, she's got all these demons and all these conflicts to fucking over about killing her own people. You got kind of like wade through all that and say, Eve, focus. For Rouge focus, we need to find Code Eve. Where were you? Where were you when you last left it down? It's next to your keys. That kind of
Yeah.
Anyways, they seem to get what they want and leave her off. And she's kind of baffled by this and kind of like weirdly comes out. He's like, she's, what the fuck has happened, man? I'm just Naomi kind of hauls her off there. So like she's like, is completely like nearly out of it, so she can't fight the Gata Lolita chick when she turns up there with Trude to stop their escape.
Yeah, I was like, oh fuck, they're not. I mean, I didn't think they were gonna kill her off, but she gets really fucked up by that goth clown, and it's just like, okay, Rue's just coming in. And it's like, okay, thank goodness, because she might be a badass, but our other girl is not going to stand up to being kicked in the head by a robot. Like, that's not great.
She was gonna go for it though. I love like there was like special little kind of like flip with it, which is like aiming that gun up and saying, "Think I'm crazy?
Yeah.
I'm crazy."
Yeah, the animation of Opera is probably some of the best animation the show's had so far. That's the goth clown, as you call that.
I mean, like, what else are you going to call her? She's at a circus.
That's true. Yeah, I thought her animation, particularly that scene when she's going for Naomi.
It'd be one thing if it was just like the flips and the kicks, which were animated well, but her like moving slightly to the side to avoid bullets, I was like, oh, it is very nice.
Yeah. Still sticking with it. I'm wary that it's going to be another Armitage the Third. But
if they're going to save the world, at least it'll probably just be Mars. So it's smaller. That's better.
Yeah.
It was Mars in Armitage the Third as well. That's why it's reminded me of that.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I'm not thinking. I thought you meant like escalating to save the world thing, and I forgot which planet.
Well, there was also about evolving robots and how close can they become to humans? Can they be real people?
Then we got The Witch and the Beast, episode 5, Beauty and Death, Final Act. Watch this.
I actually did jump on this because it's like you thought that the change in focus was kind of with a bit of a refresh on it last time. It's like, I'll have a look at that one then.
The unfortunate thing is this second half went like nearly exactly the way that I figured it was going to go.
Yeah, there's no big mystery to this at all.
No, that was the unfortunate part.
Like poor fun, like Johan. Oh, he's carried his throat cut. He's surely dead. If he's been in the company of a necromancer for his like professional career for how long now? He's clearly like an undead as well.
He's already undead. Yeah. So
is she a witch? Yeah, she's definitely a witch. She's a spooky witch.
The necromancer who's doing all the necromantic crimes is kind of like, oh, welcome to my parlor. I'm going to use your sexy body to or beautiful body. Sorry, he's not being a creep. He is being a creep. I'm going to use your body as a base to resurrect her because unfortunately my girlfriend died in a fire. So, she's all fucked up. So that'll work out well for me. And she's like, yeah, it would. Except as you know from all our conversation we've been having now, I am a necromancer, but also I'm a witch at the same time as well. So you're doubly fucked. Your man's like, shit. And he basically legs it. Well, he summons an army of friggin' zombies with knives in their faces.
Spiky zombies.
On purpose.
I made these just in case, he says.
And everyone's like, cool, I am a witch and I'm going to summon out of my own fucking shadow these like zombie knights that I've made for myself.
Way
and they're
more
all like
badass looking ones with cloaks and cool swords. And
his ones are like fucking your soul's like generic fucking enemies. Her ones are bosses. All of them look like bosses.
They just materialize from a fucking pool of sinister shadow. That's like dark and mist, everything rising. Oh, these are much more like fucking sinister than your ones. So they get to work.
So your man legs it, basically going like, oh fuck, yeah, she's a witch, I'm fucked. And he runs to his girlfriend's coffin where you can see her like exposed skull. And Johan's like, well fucking done. Turns out I'm not dead because I'm already dead. So, and also I was resurrected by a witch. So like I'm healing up my neck wound as I'm talking, which is why my voice is getting less throaty as we're talking.
Yeah, it's kind of like you're like Andy from One the Nunlock style zombie.
Yeah, he did bring a gun, but he's shooting him in the head, and he's like, "Yeah, that's not gonna do it, pal." And it's like, "Please don't kill me." He's like, "Oh, I'm not gonna fucking kill you." Oh, the things I'm gonna do to you, and we do see some of the things. He's missing a lot of his face.
Missing a lot of his face. But Nora comes back in and finds in. Oh, are you done? Yeah, I'm done in here. Officer, detective, could you just look to one side while I blew this guy's brains out? What? No, stop. I'm going somewhere with this. Don't worry. And they actually necromances and brings back the serial killer now. And finds saying, okay, here's the fucking deal. Because they mentioned at the start of the it's like,
yes.
Oh, necromancy is all who's like rules, regulations. It's like it's totally kosher in this country. You can kind of do it, if you really, really want to.
But it's not
However,
legal in most countries because there's a huge downside, as they explained in their earlier conversation.
when you die normally, you go back into that live stream and you will eventually be reincarnated. Necromancy just plucks you like right out of that and puts you back in your earthly body. And as long as you're maintained and all the spell is kept up, you'll keep on being undead and being a zombie. But like, if it breaks down and it goes, and your soul cannot return to the live stream, and you just like, you don't even cease to exist. Your mind is still like out there, but it's just surrounded by nothing. There's no senses, no nothing, no.
You eventually
anything at all.
degrade to nothing. Your soul trapped on the mortal plane, unable to act, and eventually just fades into nothingness. So
Yeah.
detective's like, wait, that's gonna happen to my girlfriend. It's like, yeah, he's basically done that to all these undead. There's no way around it. There's no coming back from it. So I'm just gonna turn him into a zombie. And it's like, all right, you have to maintain all these zombies now, and you have to, because I'm putting that program into your head as my zombie.
Yeah.
So that sucks. And he's
Especially
like, well,
cruel.
yeah. So again, she kind of brushes off Johan. And is like, hey, you okay, boss? And he's like, Johan, where the fuck is my luggage? He's like, I think I left it at the church. He's like, go get my fucking luggage. He's like, okay.
The detective feels bad for Nez. It's like, geez, man, sorry, I was fun saying fucking
I was not saying all kinds of racist things about zombies.
Zombies all fuck off back where you came from to your grave. It's like, oh yeah, well, don't worry about it, man. I know how it is. Like, if I'm saying you've like, she's compelling to do that, right? If I'm saying, oh, that's fine. I'm doing this because I want to. I should have my free will. Nice little moment, and it helps that it keeps the detective's back turned while like she just kind of is just digging her fucking fingers into the dude's like head. It's just like, what's that for? Because you're a dick and you hurt my friend.
You hurt my boyfriend, my zombie boyfriend that I'm illegally not allowed to have, but whatever.
Yeah.
As long as I treat him like shit, no one will ever know, including him probably.
This one definitely more and more got across in a similar kind of like relationship to Undead Girl Murder farce. Where it says here's like she's clearly the one in charge, and he's the like very hardy brother who's like he's got a bit of a wise mouth in him. And it's little kind of reputation, and they're operating as well on a separate like kind of system of morality than would say the common everyday person is one saying, I gotta kill this dude, but it's for like a better cause. Like one like karmically, like we're about like the law of the land. This is like karmic justice, so that's kind of supersedes it in our book. Yeah, but it's kind of nice, if it hops around, I hope they don't have too many, like, fun saying, oh, we only handle witches, we hand you off, to the zombie crowd, fun saying, oh, we only do witches, we'll hand you off to, like, the werewolf crowd, that's not our deal.
What if there's a zombie witch, there's a necromancer witch, so that's definitely an option.
That's probably happening. It's like, well, that'd be like, your inter-bureau, like, investigation to go from a task force to tackle this thing. Which, go ahead and do that,
I think the only like reveal thing is like when she has those little black words appearing on her skin, your man's like, oh fuck, she's a witch. And I was like, wait, that guy from the other thing has black words appearing on is he a witch too? Is that like a witch thing?
No, it's like I don't know, like I think you said it was more so her eyes.
That he is definitely a witch, basically.
It was more so her eyes, I guess. Like if you got the glowing yellow eyes, because you can do magic. That's how you do magic. I mean, even like the detective from the previous arc, she was like signing things in the air like that. So,
but she wasn't getting the things on her skin, and I was like, is that one of the signs? I don't know.
Maybe to be a bit more clear on that, I suppose.
I mean, like it would seem like the kind of show is like, I'm gonna find the witch that did this to me, and it's like it's that guy, you're walking around with the whole time.
You got a mole inside the department, my God. Like, just do all the police procedural, this like
magic.
Greatest hits in there. Just do it.
Then we've got Delicious in Dungeon, episode 6, Court Cuisine and Boiled in Salt Water. Court Cuisine involves them trying to get food.
Getting like the rich backstory of this dungeon, but they don't care about it.
It's so funny because it's like I want to be sucked into the world, the painted world, right? So I can eat the food and the paintings. Because we haven't had we've been eating snacks, we've eaten sweets the whole time. So if I go into that, I can eat the meal in the beautiful still life of a bowl of fruit, into the haunted painting, and but he keeps hopping into paintings in the order of the lore, and he's like, can't eat that food. All this lore is really
He
put
keeps
off
getting like, too
my
socially
appetite.
awkward to ask Hector to do it. It's just like, I didn't think of my chance that time. It was right in front of me, but like the atmosphere wasn't right in the room, so I had to back out.
Yeah.
They waste probably hours doing this while they feed him in and just back him back with a rope.
And it's just like he's getting all this cool lore fucking dumps, like the least intelligent, like low intelligence, like not give a fuck about the main fucking plot characters, getting all these lore dumps, and the rest of them are just sitting in the room, presumably hanging onto the rope because they have them on a rope. They're not stupid, just going like, "Fuck this sucks," for the whole time.
I think towards the end, it's like, no, we get to the stage, and now we crown new king at the coronation feast, and he was like, very solemnly at the table. I think they're about to, like, they looked at it like doing in the middle of, like, saying like a prayer. And he's just like, oh, I'm digging in, bro.
Yeah, they're all like raising their glass and drinking a ceremonial. It's like, I'll have a bit of that and a chicken
like,
leg.
yeah, cheers. I don't know. You gonna eat that? Yeah, pass it over.
Yeah, this story is the one where I was like, I'm sure I've played a Dungeons and Dragons module with similar paintings, and I think I was thinking it was a Greyhawk module. I could not find anything, so I was questioning my memory. But it did just dawn
the
on me.
paintings give you lore? That's the question in the
Yes,
module.
well, that's the thing. You mentioned about the info dump and the lore dump. That's when I realised it was a Ravenloft adventure, and that seems borne out by doing a web search.
Of the other, like, I suppose important thing to note that, we'll see if you remember to tell them or not. Like, there's like the same like elf who's like present between like the different ages of the paintings, but it's someone who's noticing. It's just like, I know what you're doing. You shouldn't be here. Keeps
like that,
get really
that
intense
elf.
with him.
Yeah, the elf is there initially, like just in a minor role when it's the birth of the king, and then I think it's not his coronation, it's him getting married, his coronation. Like it's this following this one king's thing, but that elf is in every scene, and the elf kind of confronts him and is just like, you were there at the king's birth. Who the fuck are you? I don't know who the fuck you are. Because even one of the maids later on is like, I don't recognize that armor. You're clearly a guard. Come on, help me deliver this food to the temple. Which is great, like, because a regular person just like, I don't fucking know, but an elf who's been there the entire time is just like, hang on a fucking second, who the fuck
and
are
of course, we as viewers can go, we've seen that costume in the opening credits where they're hiding the face of the person who it belongs to.
There's all this kind of recurring motifs here. There's this recurring motif of the winged lion, like all over the shop. All of the fountains, that give him water in the rooms. It's all over the shop. I wonder if it's got any significance going forward.
Because that's one of the things that the servant, she doesn't recognize Laos's armor, but she does recognize the wings on his sword. It's just like, okay, you're clearly one of the guards then. So a symbol of the kingdom that was gone and got fucked up into this dungeon, basically.
This looks sweet when you fashion into a pair of armor that's now come to life. That's also probably a big reason behind it.
Yeah.
Looks cool.
And then the bulk of the episode is boiled in salt water, where you're going, why is this called boiled in salt water? Because it's mainly about a thief thinking that a box is a mimic.
Fucking mimics.
His general paranoia about mimics.
It's really good because it's him doing his lockpicking thing. It's like locked up for the night, and he sees a chest just in a door, but just out of reach, but just enough so you can view it. And he's just like, that's a fucking mimic. That's like, oh, a treasure chest, and then it's gonna bite you. I know, because it's happened to me once, and it happened to me another time, and the third time I thought it was a mimic, but it was actually a trap chest, and it exploded and killed me a third time. But it's all mimics' fucking fault, and I hate mimics, and I'm not going to tell them because they're going to want to eat it, and I fucking hate mimics.
Yeah, again, this is so. I don't know whether D&D players are like this nowadays, but
overly cautious.
This is definitely how we were if a certain person was GMing the game.
Okay.
Now, if I'm running an adventure, then you'd most likely be a little more careless about opening chests because I don't generally put traps in. I don't generally put mimics in. But if my friend Martin was running, then yes, every chest has to be opened with the utmost caution. possibly from 10 feet away with a pole.
Well, as big as this yoke gets, as we say here, like, maybe 10 feet's not even enough. Enormous.
Yeah, he follows a treasure bug in, and it's like, oh, I'll fucking eat that. I could go for a fucking treasure bug right now.
He's up at night. I'm going out getting water for Marcia. Let me back in. It's just not even going to be awake to help him or anything.
Like, it seems like a fine thing because like the water fountain's right outside the room that they're staying in, and the mimic's in the other fucking room. It's fine. We got the door closed, but when he's going after the treasure bug, going like, I'll get that, and he accidentally stepped because he's worried that the treasure bug is going to be eaten by the mimic because it goes into the chest, and he accidentally steps on a pressure plate. He's like, I forgot I had a water skin full of water. Because again, like you said, Brian, this is the kind of DM who track is like, what's your current fucking character's weight and your
What's your
equipment weight?
load?
And it's just like, oh, I gotcha, fucker, I gotcha.
Medium roll. Oh no, you're doing heavy roll there. Sorry.
It traps him in the room with like a portcullis kind of coming down. He can't reach the switch on the outside because he's a half foot. He's got short arms, and he's like, okay, I got to figure out this puzzle. It's like fucking 3 things. There's a rhyme here that I clearly can't fucking read because I don't speak ancient languages.
It's kind of like, it's good to see him like work, because like he opens the door that is usually here to get into this area to begin with. Now, fun, and this is how my fuck operate around here, like fun. But because suspicious of like trying to find hidden levers and pressure pads and stuff in the door. I mean, he's suspicious of everything and possibly everybody. Because go on about like Senchi's again going, now should it get the young lad that gets some rest and saying, "Oh fuck, I'm not a fucking boy. How old do you think I am? Oh yeah, how old are you? I'm not gonna say. Well, that's because you don't trust people, man. You're suspicious of everybody."
The suspicious thief type character, which is, if he was playing it like an edgelord, he'd be a jerk. But he's like, he is nice. He just keeps himself to himself. He keeps it all professional, and that's why he's on this quest to save your man's sister for no money. Yeah, sure, buddy. Not that cynical, but he acts like he is. So while trying to figure out the puzzle, he just hops up on a press going like, I gotta figure this fucking thing out. And the mimic's in the press. Haha. You didn't check the press for mimics.
Oh, this was going to be a box or a chest, you see. That's just your own biases at work.
Yes. And to do it as a hermit crab rather than like a slime, as they're often like, it's either like a chest with teeth on it or like a slime that's like morphed into a box. And I would much prefer it's a hermit crab like living in the thing that you have. That's a nice look. Yeah.
Well, I suppose I thought, how would you make this like an edible?
Yes, that's the other thing.
We
already ate slime, so we can't do that again.
And what creature would kind of like fitting into weird containers like that, Even the side of this, I think I've seen maybe it's come out like with like kind of legs and claws anyway. So I suppose there'd be all kinds of things. Or the fucking the Dark Souls one where it's just like an arm, 2 arms and 2 legs, and then the head is the chest chomp. It's like
the far too long arms and legs. Yeah, I hate that.
Gangly looking yoke. No, we get a cute crab in this. We had to kill and eat.
It's again like some of the really nice fucking animation as it's chasing him around the room, and him purposely hitting the pressure plate, and him getting like cut by one of the spears that's hopping out of the ground. I was like, oh fuck, that's nasty. And it's just to knock the mimic on its ass, really. And he's remembering all the trivia Leos is telling him. It was like, oh, when you knock them on the back, you can tell if they're a boy or a girl. And it's like, this is not fucking helpful. Good shit.
And then he manages to escape because he figures out the
he figures out the language on the thing is the same as the coin on the bug. It's a motto from the ancient city, like to the north star and that kind of thing. So it's like, okay, hit north switch, south switch, like what order to hit them in, basically.
Yeah, and crushes the mimic as it activates the trap once again.
The lads get up at that very moment to go like, wow, good job, Chillichuk, we're eating well tonight. He's like, no, everything I've tried to prevent so far.
I'm not eating that. It's my mortal enemy. I want nothing to do with it. No, the steam is in the pot and they can't get it out with like the tools and saying, hey, Chillichuk, give me like your lockpicks there. Why lockpicks? After what I've been through, why I'm fucking my lockpicks?
But they can't remember the name for it. Yeah, they can't remember the name for the lockpick. Give me those things. The things you use to open locks. Yes,
It's
and
just like
he has,
shredding his ego to pieces. Like,
yes, he begrudgingly admits that it's delicious.
Mm.
And then we get an explanation from Laos that the mimic doesn't eat coin bugs. Coin bugs eat mimics. They sneak into the things that the mimics are hiding in, lay their eggs in the mimic. The eggs hatch, and then the babies eat the mimic.
yeah,
from the
I
inside
mean,
out, and then they breed as well and fill the box up with treasure, which is what they look like. And it's just like, oh, that's why sometimes you get boxes of treasure, and sometimes you get boxes of mimic.
Yes, and if you want,
It's a
and then
whole-
it's basically if you want to stop you, if you want us to stop treating you like a kid, you got to tell us how old you are. And so he says, "I'm 29 this year," and then the half elf and the dwarf say, "Yeah, you're still a kid."
get away with that.
Senshi kind of going like, I thought you were older than that. It's just like, he's like, that's very old for a half foot. But Leo's kind of going, it's like, oh fuck, you're older than me.
Those guys are just like,
shit.
Mr. Chulchuk.
Should I? Yeah, on the dummy was, should I call you sir?
yeah,
um,
yeah.
Oh
Good
man,
shit.
just a one bad day for him. But that's
As-
also what this does so well. And oh man, there are so many fun things coming up down the line where it's just like, what do I really think about you? Well, thanks to like some kind of magical or monster intervention, we're gonna find out precisely what we think about each other.
Like this is like a character focus part, and it still manages to like have loads of fun and jokes at the expense of the character while you get to understand the character better. And playing them off each other works so fucking well. And yeah, it's a great show for that.
Yeah, him getting angry at the box, which wasn't the mimic, that was gag as well.
Don't look like a mimic if you're not a mimic. You know, yeah, great stuff.
Yeah, I've recommended this to the guys I used to play D&D with, and they seem, once you've watched it, are enjoying it as well.
Good. Because I listened to the dub, like I prefer like the original, but the dub isn't bad. It's actually quite good.
Yeah, I think I watched it dubbed this week for convenience.
Sure.
Then there's one more thing to talk about because Undead Unluck is in the doghouse. It's
Shame on you.
Bang Braven, episode 5, the one thing that's beyond my powers.
Yeah, this is what it's competing with, you see. So
That's a tough fucking
gonna
hold
muscle
roll,
out.
man.
Gowdy fun gophers here. Yeah, everyone's fun feeling down. It's just like, no, we got fun. Gotta get to Japan. Like, we gotta launch this fun, like big, like initiative of fun. We're going over, going to make landfall there and try and take it back. And so that's going to be like in 7 days from now. So, what you want to do, what you need to do to prepare for this. You can train, you can rest, but be ready on 7 days time. And Lewis is just like, he's just trying to, like, I need to go and clear the air with Asami. Like, he's fucking, I see the way he is in all the briefings. He's really got something like happening right there. He again goes to Braver and for advice. Can you talk to him for saying, Asami, like, there's things that you can do, things that I can do. For instance, I can turn into a giant, like, transforming car thing. You can
do human stuff. So
human stuff,
Also-
yeah.
Also, Braven has set up what appears to be like a little clubhouse for
Office.
himself on the boat where he's printing out robots. He explains what does he call the 3D printer? The
it's like an
3D printer?
interdimensional, like
Yes.
print
The
anything
nano
printer.
printer from that super
Yeah.
whiz bang space technology.
But you can't learn about that yet. And
He's the
Lewis is
most suspicious in this episode he's ever been, and he's
He's-
already wildly suspicious at everything he fucking does.
like, but the fun thing is, he's clearly been working with the officers throughout the episode unseen by the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is collaborating, they're collaborating with him. I'm not exactly sure.
Yes, to broadcast the fight that Lewis decides is the only way to get through to his buddy is for them to have a boxing
Talk
match.
with our fists.
We should also say Lulu's understanding of human language is picking up at a vast rate. Through
because she's
watching
watching
a
some
superhero.
anime. Because then you get in 2 languages at once, so that's even better. But it is the nerdy, like, freaking Kamen Rider show that Smith is into. And then it was just like, did Braveheart have a couple of those printed out as well? What's fucking going on?
He printed himself out as one.
Okay, that's what was
Yeah.
going on. Right.
Yes.
He thinks it's cool too. All right.
Yes. There was what appeared to be a Tokusatsu superhero, but it's not the one in the thing she's watching. It's in his colours and with
Yeah, it has the same
various
pattern
bits
and
of his
design. I did
patterns
see
and
that.
stuff. Yeah.
Mm.
Yes. No, he's a weirdo.
Yeah.
Braven is he's sinister, but not super sinister. But there is also the vague suspicion that is he behind this because he wants to play at being a superhero?
Yeah. Like he's from the invading alien race as well, but he's like, "Oh, what if I was the good guy though? That'd be pretty cool. Like the good guy's pretty cool in these shows because I have downloaded all Earth broadcasts, so I do know that I do like giant robot shows, and I'm a giant robot, so that's fucking halfway there. I just need a pilot.
Like
This guy.
he is very invested in getting like Sammy and Lewis to enjoy it. Otherwise, why else would he like fashion that enormous boom mic to broadcast their
It's not
innermost
a boom
like
mic. It's not a
conversations?
boom mic. It's a hyper gadget.
Right. So, everyone
Oh, man.
on the ship can hear like all of their innermost like this discussion they're having, which you can't quite hear from the sidelines of the boxing ring, but now everyone can.
Yes.
Mm,
It's the discussion they're having as one is lying on top of each other, which is giving you, the engineer, a nosebleed in
Like,
the eroticism
yes,
that's happening.
yes.
Like basically, like Smith kind of going is like, all right, we'll go into the boxing ring and we'll speak with our fists because we're manly men. And manly men talk with their fist in the most machismo way possible. And the fact that they end up, I'll be charitable, I'm going to call it wrestling on the fucking mat. And the ref is constantly like, I was like, I'm looking away. I'm not fucking paying attention to this. I'm going to let them work it out and let the whole ship know what they're saying as they work it out.
The referee is the master sergeant. I think he's like probably sick of this tension
Yeah.
in the air as well, just mucking up all the training drills. So and he sorted
Yeah,
out already.
But when he showed
Yeah,
up in like the shirt and the bow tie, you thought he was going to be a real referee, and he's basically like a fucking wrestling referee where he will turn the blind eye as the plot dictates. Basically, yeah.
Yeah, it's the two senior officers are in cahoots with Braven
Mm-mm.
to basically unite all the troops behind Braven and Asami and make Asami realize he's not alone. It's not all on his shoulders.
Yeah. Like you've got your corner team there, like they're trying to like buck you up. And Lewis has got his corner team, but it's this Lulu going, "Well, shoot, pa, uppercut." Yes, good coaching there.
With the
I will
occasional
say, like the
gagapi put in between the
yeah,
recognizable
of
words.
our own language.
Yeah.
Like this isn't any slight on the voice actor at all for Lulu. It's actually like a compliment. But my partner Shane cannot listen to Lulu for any length of time because she hits some fucking high notes, man.
Very
It's like those are.
piercing. Well, maybe it sounds
It's
better
impressive.
when you hear it over a fucking like spiky, heavily armored mecha like who's just like laying waste to a city. It's just like gaga poo, pee pee gaga poo. It's like
It sounds different through a speaker.
Yes.
What I heard,
Also,
what I heard during the week is that those little sounds is just like Japanese onomatopoeia for beep boop. I am a robot sounds. Just going beep boop.
That would be great. Yeah. That makes
yeah,
sense.
and I also noticed that when she's tried to pronounce Braven after she calls Braven the name of the superhero from the show, is it sounds like Brave Bang. And I was like, oh, is that why it's called that? It's because it's a child attempting to pronounce
The title
Braven.
character of the show. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a great series. This is another great episode. It's both sinister, daft, exciting.
It's just very
Macho,
odd.
incredibly
Yeah.
gay. Like it bursts through the side of Macho in the most sexually obvious way possible you can without just dudes fucking. Like it's very clear what it's going for.
Like
But
it is like this is that fun tension is kind of making these sparks happen and stuff. It's a real robot kind of framework here, and it's like super things come crashing into it, both vying for supremacy. But mostly the super thing is working out. Everyone is on board except for the hero pilot, who's just like I just wanted to be fucking just like a straight up kind of cool, calm, collected like Iceman type, but I'm gonna be fucking this dude instead. He just can't handle it.
Because at the end of it, where he's like, "Hey, thanks, Smith. Like that really fucking we worked out some shit there." And Lulu's like, "I want to fight you, Asami, because you're really strong." And then she kicks him off the fucking the ship, and he was just like, "What a weakling." And it was just like, If he drowns, we're in a lot of fucking trouble, guys. But everyone's like, ha ha ha, nearly like laughing as the fucking credits roll. The thing, there was many sinister things of Braveheart in this episode. There generally is, but the one that I thought was like the thing that he can't do, that one thing beyond my powers is like communicate on a level. It's like, no, he says that line to like Lewis Smith has the ability to make choices, and that's one thing beyond my powers. And I was like, wait, well, fucking lay it by me again, they're Braver, and it's like, no, but the scene moves on to more comedy shenanigans, and I was like, hang on a fucking second.
Yeah,
what
see,
the fuck?
more people are here latching on to that because there's this whole Lewis wastes most of the week, just like there's never a
Trying
good
to talk to
moment.
him,
It's
and it's
just
like,
like every day he's just like he's just second guessing himself. He's like
Yeah.
kind of off the side of his arms full at that. And there's one was just he's like against the wall, and then first
pans
of
up to
all, like
Braver's
first of all you
poster
see
of
is a
himself.
big Braver mural. I thought, oh yeah, do you remember? Wait a minute, they're on a ship. Also, why is it there? But the thing is with the way it's looming over him is like his arms folded down here, and this is one big him up here with his arms folded like that. And it's just like, are you like trying to tell yourself what to do without saying it as you?
Well, yes,
Yeah.
because that's the thing. Because when he goes to speak, he's like, I suddenly had an idea, which
That was the
suggested
thing
that
Braver can't do. Braver can't.
had put the idea in his head.
Yeah.
It was when he went to see Braver that he suddenly had the idea of the boxing match.
Yeah, yeah.
And that came across to me that it was Braver implanting that memory inside his head in the first place to make him think that way.
Or some weird kind of like backwards logic of it. Yeah, yeah.
We also forgot to mention there's like a really long sort of Simpson and Bruckheimer style montage of
The show
life
likes
on
its
board.
montages, which makes sense. Genre that works
Yes,
in it.
yeah.
I miss the old style launch catapults. They made a cool whiz bang when you did it.
Good stuff.
Yeah, it's there's some pretty good stuff this season.
I always like look forward to when you get like something like this. It's just like this is going to kind of be one way, and it's just completely just swats you from the expectation like right aside. It's like something like this, so like Akiba made War from not too long ago. Just like came in, it's just like this is like too crazy to sustain itself, but no, it's too crazy to fail. Now it just keeps going.
And like the initial thing with Bang Braven was like, it's just like, oh, it's trying to make you think it's a real robot show, but it's not. It has this other fucking crazy element that we're jamming in there, and it didn't manage to keep that quiet because of the way advertising works and everything like that. But it still works. Like that the reveal isn't all it's got, basically. Yeah.
That's it for this week. Next week, maybe Undead Unluck will do something good and it will be back in our good graces. Or maybe
there'll be a between this episode and the next one, it'll have a full episode.
But we will have a One Piece episode to talk about next week.
Yeah,
it does say in Undead Unluck is like they explain that loops are a thing. That I mean, like, and that should be really exciting, right? It's like, yeah, it fucking should. And man, they managed to bury that.
Yeah, it kind of mucked around a bit, and it should have been a bit more of an impactful thing, but it got a bit drowned out. Yeah. I did also. Just quick to say this. Like, I did watch the Precure with the dog in it. Wonderful Precure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's definitely a Precure. It's a weird gimmick. Is that the pet and their owner become the magical girls by his shape of things.
Okay.
I guess
they like fuse or.
It's it's a both become one. Like initially, the dog is like, no, I want to play with my owner here, but she has to go to school, and I'm a dog, and I'm whumping, going, ooh, I want to go home. If I were a real girl, I could go to school and do that. So, if I had the power of friendship, happiness, and a little mascot animal in need, you turn a person into a real girl, and then the ergo can become a magical girl. It's just like it's gotta get through step by step.
Does it touch upon the childhood horror of your pet showing up at school?
Hasn't that? That's probably safe for episode 2, which I haven't looked at yet. But the girl, the human girl, is just like, I don't know how to deal with this because it's like very obviously very dog-like mannerisms. When she's like a real girl, it's just how am I going to hide this? How am I going to explain this?
Yes, because that Mikan Edeki series from the 90s does have an episode which I think it's episode 17. It's generally not a great series, but it is an episode where the cat goes to the school, and quite rightly, his owner is horrified to see his cat showing up to the school. I distinctly remember feeling the same when saw our cat in the school. Field.
It's like you don't want your home life and your fucking work life to clash like that. That's not cool.
No, because you know what, you defend go, oh look, there's a cat out there, and then you just go, yeah, it's my cat.
I can mostly because mostly can relate to that insofar as I should be relaxing in my sitting room watching like that evening's or afternoon's cartoons, and then I see that the cattle are outside the window. Wait, outside the windows in front of the house and not in the field. Nah, no Batman for me. I gotta go out and put these shit fuckers away.
Yeah. That's your work life coming into your home life. That's the opposite way around. Yeah.
Yeah. Righty-ho, we'll be back with some more next week. Goodbye for now. Ta-ta.
Bye.
Evening.